Hi, welcome to my channel Data Science Anywhere. Before getting started, please subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos on technological platform. In this video, we're going to discuss about some tokenization steps generally followed in GPT models. Large language models, also known as LLMs, particularly in GPT family, receives a prompt as input and get the response as a text generated or something like a generated text. This process is called text completion. For example, if you could take a prompt that is the weather is nice today, so I decided to, which is not a complete sentence. If I feed this prompt to the GPT model and I ask the GPT model to complete the text, and the output might be look something like go for a walk, and which is actually the meaningful thing, like the weather is nice today, so I decided to, and the GPT model might predict go for a walk. You might wonder how LLM models build this output text based upon the prompt. One of the most important thing that GPT model is going to take an input is not the prompt. And it will take a prompt, and before sending that to the GPT, this will break down into the smaller pieces called tokens. And this process is called tokenization. A token represents a single word or a part of word or spaces or punctuation marks. For example, if you consider the prompt, the weather is nice today, so I decided to, the tokenization will break down into something like this. The weather is nice today, so I decided into something. Okay, you can see that it was break down the pieces of text into the smaller chunks of words. And this words is called tokenization. Every large language model has their own tokenization. And it is also same for the GPT also. Even in the GPT, we have the tokenization, and I recommend to go to the website that is platform.openai.com/tokenizer, and where you can find the how for a given word the OpenAI is going to tokenize. If at all we want to use our own tokenizer from the ChatGPT or the GPT models, we can use a tick token from the OpenAI, which is a package in Python which is available, and you can use it and get the tokenization from it. Alright, so let's look into the first thing, like platform.openai.com and tokenizer, and see how it's going to work. Okay, I'm in the website that is platform.openai/tokenizer, which is a platform provided by the OpenAI, and using which you can understand how the OpenAI will tokenize the sentence. So if we look into that, for example, let me give some small sentence. The weather is nice today, so I decided to is what my text. And you can see that this is what the tokenization followed by the GPT 3.5 and 4, which is something like this. What it means is that there are 9 words are there, which means you can see that, but when you look at the tokens, we got 11 tokens are there. The reason is even a punctuation mark, something like comma, full stop, and etc. will be treated as one of the token. So that's the reason we have the more token. And not only that, it will also do the much more tokenization. For example, I have some, if you click on the show example of this, and where it will generate some text, and here you can see how it will split the words. For example, if you consider the indivisible, and this is actually split into the two things, indivisible, or the two characters of the two tokens. And this is how the ChatGPT will take as an input instead of the single word. And also you can see GPT-3, how the tokenization is performing GPT-3, which is a legacy. And again, generally GPT-3 has more tokens than the GPT 3.5 or 4. You can see that the same individual, it's again split into 3 tokens and visible. See? So this is how the tokenization is followed by the GPT-3 or the GPT models. And basically the underlying theme, it uses the tick token, which is a package is available in Python, and using which we can actually do the tokenization. All right, so let's see how we can do the tokenization in the tick token. If we click on this, like tick token, which will redirect to the GitHub page or the GitHub repository, and this is the official GitHub repository from the tick token, is from the OpenAI, and it gives you some kind of details of this, like how we can use the tokenization. Okay, now let's see how we can use the tick token in OpenAI. Now let's see how we can actually do the tokenization with tick token. Let's see that. All right, now I'm in the Python text editor. I'm working on the PyCharm. You can use what are the text editor like Visual Studio Code, Jupyter Notebook, Spider, anything that you're comfortable with. You can use your own text editor. So the first step, what we have to do in the text editor is we need to install the package tick token. If you go to the official website or official GitHub repository of tick token, where you can see that tick token is a fast BPE tokenizer used for the OpenAI. BPE actually stands for byte pair encoding. In order to know more details about the byte pair encoding and what exactly it is, you can follow the page in the Wikipedia. You can also find the URL in the same page, that is the repository, then the tick token, where you can know the more details about the byte token and also the original algorithm of this. Okay, so let's straight away use the tick token, and let's try to understand how the tick token works. The first and foremost thing what you have to do is we need to install the tick token as a package. So in order to do that, we can simply use the pip install tick token. What you can do is you can open your terminal or your command prompt and type the following command. So I'm doing everything in the PyCharm. So what I'll do is let me install the tick token. I can simply use this using command pip install tick token and press enter, and this will actually install the tick token for you. All right, I have already installed this, and now what I'll do is let me open a new Jupyter Notebook, or you can take your new file. Let me take the new Jupyter Notebook and name this as learn tick token.ipynb. Okay, so let's see some details about the tick token. Okay, so in order to import the tick token, we can use the command import tick token. Okay, now press enter. In tick token, there are many encoding names that are available. Let's see some list of encodings that was available in tick token. In order to call this tick token dot, and here you can see there are list of encoding names out there. Let's call this, and if we execute this, we'll get some list of encoding names, which is GPT-2 and R50 base, R50K base, P50K base, and so on. And each and every kind of encoding we'll use for the particular modeling. For example, I'm giving you some details of the encoding and each encoding name and which OpenAI model we'll use is you can see in detail here. For example, here the CL100K base is used for GPT-4, GPT 3.5 Turbo, text embedding EDA 002, and so on. Whereas the P50 base used as a text DaVinci 002 and text DaVinci 003 models. And whereas R50K base, something like this, is actually used for the GPT models like DaVinci models. Okay, So each and every model has their own tokenization kind of encoding and using which you can do this. So what we will do, let's call this CL100K base, and let's load this one and try to get some kind of encoding with that. In order to do this, first what I'll do, let me do the encoding. And this is my encoding. Okay, so first let me define a variable name encoding equal to take token dot get encoding, and now we need to provide the encoding name. And see, there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 encoding names are there. Out of this, you can choose what are the encoding name. Let me select the CL100K base because this is encoding used for the GPT-4, GPT-3.5 models. I want to see how those models encoding will work. Okay, now what I can do is let's execute this, and with this we can able to get the encoding object. Now let's take some text for which I want to do the encoding. Let's say take token is a great tokenizer. Right, so that's what the text or the prompt or some kind of thing where I want to apply the tokenization to this. Okay, so in order to do the encoding for this, what I can do is encodings equal to, I'll call this object encode dot encode, and here I need to provide the text. And if you print the encodings equal to the encodings, we can get or we can print the encodings here. Okay, that's what expected, and here you can see the encodings. This output is 51, 1609, 5963, 374, 264, 2294, and 47058. What it means is this and all the some kind of IDs which is already assigned to the each and every token, and what are the assigned token, and it is actually giving this, which actually means is that 51 actually is ID of one of the token, 1609 is ID of one of the token, and so on, right? So we're going to see also, we will decode this token and see how the text or the what is the actually how it looks. We're going to also see that. So before that, let's see what exactly it means, and let's see that. If you look at the text here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words of there, right? And when we look at the tokens, let's say you can simply print the length of encodings. There are actually 7 tokens of there, which means the one of the word or one of few of the words having the 2 is actually split into the 2 tokens. Okay, let's see some details, and let's see what is 51 and what is 1609 and all these things, and let's split this and see everything in a text, and those kind of thing will be very, very easy to understand. In order to do that, in the encoding itself, we have a function called decode single token byte. So what it means is that it will take a single token and convert that into bytes. For example, let me give some number 51, which is actually the encoded value, and if you can decode this, and the value is T. Okay, so probably it took the T as 1 token, and let's say the 1609, and if you execute this, is a tick IK, and let's take the another ID, and which is actually token. Okay, so this is how we can see how the words or how the tokens are from. What I will do is let me run a loop and see all these things for token and encodings, and from this encodings let me take this encoded or decoded value, and let me give this is my token ID. This is my token ID. Now let's see the decoded token. token list. Let me call it as an empty list, and we can provide the decoded value. We get this. So this will be my token in bytes, and we can take this like decoded tokens dot append token underscore bytes, or bytes. It's not byte, it's a byte. Okay, so now let's execute this. Before that, also print decoded token list. Execute this. Here we go. We can see that this is the text that we have used. The tick token is a great tokenizer, and we use a tick tokenizer, and using which we got something like this, which means it actually split that into first is actually converted everything into encoded IDs, and if you can be able to decode that, and this is what we have. The 51 represents T, 1609 represents IK, and 5963 represents token, and 374 represents is, and so on. Basically, if you see, there is actually the space is also there. Okay, so those sort of things also should be identified, also should be noted here. Let's do one thing. Instead of directly and here also you can notice that there is something like the B is coming at the front before every word. This B actually represents the byte. If at all you want to convert the byte into string, what I can do is, let me take the token string, and here let's call this token underscore byte dot decode, and here let me decode into the format UTF-8. This is what the encoding name. And now instead of appending the token byte, let's append this. Now execute this, and here you go. This is what the perfectly thing that we have is a tick token. TIK token is a great tokenizer. Alright, this is how the encoding will works for the encoding name, that is CL 100K base. You can also try it for the P 50K base, R 50K base, and so on. That just provide the name and also just provide the prompt or text to this. You can also get this. For example, in order to see the encoder for the P 50K base, just provide the name and initialize the encoding. Then execute this, and here you go. You might have some different encodings here. There are 8 encodings are there for the P50K base. And if you also want to see the more details of this, this is how it works. Is a TIK token is a great tokenizer. This is tokenizer. Previously, it is a tokenizer, a single word by the CL 100K base, but this time it is the 2 different tokens. You can also, instead of actually get the token name or encoding name, you can also call the OpenAI models also, like each and every model. We can also see, like, how the tokenizer is working for the each and every model. For that, what I can do is, let's say token by model. For that, I can use tick token dot encoding for model. So let's call this encoding for model, and here you can provide the name of the model. So the name of the model, I've already given you the list of models to you. It's a GPT-4, GPT 3.5 Turbo, and so on. Let's use the GPT-4. This is what the model for which I want to see how the tokenization is working. And let's initialize this. Now let's take the same text, that is tick token is a great tokenizer. Now in order to do the encoding for this, I can simply use encoded model dot encode and just provide the text is this, so which is my GPT-4 encoded text, or basically this is my GPT-4 encodings. And you can print the GPT-4 encodings, and this is what the encodings that we got for the GPT-4. And in order to know details of this, let's see the copy this and paste it here, and let's replace this with the GPT-4 encodings. Now, instead of using the encoded here, you need to use the encoded model. And now we take the encoded model by and also decode single token, and everything will be look same if you execute this. And this is how the tokenizer works for the GPT-4. Cool. So this is how we can use the tick tokenizer and token the text whatever the way you, and token the text for what are the models or what are the type of encodings we want. Cool.